Maido. Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about Trump. Present, Master Shimasho. This is the 8th year of the Presentation Japan series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata Present no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muda ni suru no wa yamimashou. And my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 398. Today we're talking about I agree with Trump. As an Aussie, I can't vote in the American elections, so I am a casual observer of what is going on. I was watching a very recent interview with Donald Trump, and he briefly made mention about his public speaking approach. That got my attention, because I teach this stuff. Of late, I've been using Joe Biden as a hanmen kyoshi, or teacher by negative example of public speaking, so let me now bring in Trump too. You could make the argument that neither of them are relevant to those of us in business, but I think there are lessons to be learnt. Admittedly, as business speakers, we won't have an audience of cult-like followers who hang on our every word. I would absolutely love that. But after giving over 560 business speeches so far, that hasn't materialized as yet. When you see Trump rallies with a background of patriotic American flags, various message placards, and a sea of MAGA red hats, you know he has assembled the true believers. And I doubt they are very much aware of the intricacies of his public speaking techniques. According to the studies I've seen, he is most popular with non-college educated males. That automatically impacts the content and his delivery mechanisms. In business, here in Japan, we'll be speaking to a very well-educated, most sophisticated, international business audience of Japanese and foreigners. This requires we're operating at a very high level of public speaking because the crowd isn't going to automatically be with us and, in fact, may think we are just spreading fake news. What we say and how we say it becomes very important in these circumstances. In the interview, Trump said he looks for a reaction in the crowd to what he says. If he reads from a script or a teleprompter or from his notes, he found that he couldn't get the same reaction as when he speaks extemporaneously. That is why he is so keen to wander off topic and ramble along, looking for embers to convert into flames amongst the faithful. In his convention acceptance speech, he couldn't keep to the main points and started to wander off looking for inflammatory content to rev up the crowd. I agree with Trump that this direct engagement is the best approach to working an audience and owning the room. Now, ironically, as far as I know, he doesn't usually employ a slide deck at his political rallies. Having said that, the slide deck is the only reason he's alive today. That assassin's bullet should have penetrated his skull and killed him, but at the most critical moment, he moved his head to the side to look at the graph up on the big screen to his right. That screen saved his life without a doubt. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese, we do them in English, we do them in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. The show today is being brought to you by, on the 12th and 13th of September, we'll be doing our High Impact Presentations program. Also, starting on the 13th of September, we'll have our Dale Carnegie course 12-week version. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday Tokyo time. Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday we release the Business Pro television show. Don't forget to grab my business best-selling books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Saegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muri ni suru wa yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. In business talks, we can usually use a slide deck, or we may choose not to do so. The slide deck advantage is it creates a navigation path for us, and we don't have to remember the order of what comes next. If we don't want to use the slide deck, we can just have a simple list of topics to talk to in front of us to keep us on track. Trump's point about looking down and not engaging our audience is correct. A quick glance at the next topic, however, is certainly not going to be a crowd disperser. What he has found is that the eye contact with the crowd and his observation of their energy has been central to keeping the crowd with him. If we are looking at our page notes or at a laptop screen or a tablet, we are not looking at the people in front of us, and that is a big error. As business speakers, we need to be equally hard-working to engage our audience. This means looking at their faces and choosing our words carefully. When we see their energy or concentration flagging, we know we have to step it up and change the pace. We may do that by hitting certain keywords much harder or even much softer. It sounds counterintuitive, but dropping down to a conspiratorial whisper is also very effective. It forces your audience to lean in to what you're saying. There's also a pattern interrupt. When there is a change in the proceedings, that pattern break is what jars with the crowd and forces them back to listening to us. If we hammer the audience with a full power download from start to finish, we exhaust them and they tune out. The highs and lows are what we need, and that variety is what maintains the crowd's focus on what we are saying. Whether we like Biden or now Harris or Trump, there's always something to learn from the positives and negatives if we take that moment to reflect on what is going on full-faced in front of us. Most people just view the speech, but never bother to analyze what they can take away from it. I'm agnostic about learning from the good and bad, and will happily lift, pillage, and copy all that I can to improve my own speaking abilities. I suggest we all be agnostic too, and look for where we can find things to make ourselves more effective communicators. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.